And also, just a quick announcement, guys. I'm not gonna be posting any videos or shorts during Thanksgiving week.
Fine by me, hitting this video regardless. Roll the intro.
Baby, tú eres mala, tú en mi cama, baby, no te
With Death Battle on its usual 2-week break, and me having done a trailer and 2 shorts, I think I might cover a familiar face on this channel. This is Mr. Rumble. If you don't know who he is, Rumble is a Twitter user who tweets out versus content. Check him out. But this is going to tackle his YouTube, specifically his rant on versus debaters of Superman, or as he likes to call them, Superman fanboys. While I do agree with what he is saying, the way the topic was handled was, well, if I agreed completely with the video, this video wouldn't be a thing now, would it? And before we get into it, don't harass Rumble for what he says in his videos. No attacks, no aggression, none of that. I know it's weird for me to say this, but just to be safe. Let's begin. Before we start, I'm gonna tackle something I wanted to say for a while, but didn't know how to approach it in a meaningful way. Rumble's production isn't that great, namely his stuttering and stammering, which is every video he's ever made, not just his ranting videos. Furthermore, when he responded to my video on his rant on Disney movies, he said this.
I was just going on stuff on top of my head and stuff. Because, I don't know you guys, but every time I make these random videos like this, I always go on top of my head instead of just writing it down. Or just long-term planning, but these are just like on the spot. No planning, no anything. Just on top of my head and what I know and stuff. That's it.
Which pretty much means he doesn't script his videos. So here's a word of advice from the same person who made the same mistake. Script. Scripting what you want to say in your videos can help you clear up your stuttering. It's what you learn in drama class. Make your script, go over it, practice. Granted, I don't know his condition right now, but I believe he has a phone and Chromebook. If that's the case, and assuming he's recording with his phone, he can make a Google Doc, write down what he wants to say, then he can practice reading it. Or, if it's easier, do it while recording, briefly looking back at your document if you forget anything. Not to mention retakes. If you fumble, that's fine. There's no shame in it. I would know this is my 4th attempt. But this is merely my suggestion. If you don't want to follow it, that's fine. It's there on the table if you need it. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into the content of this video. There was a reason I wanted to tackle his production issues first. It's not just because of his stuttering. It's not just because it's just his face. It's because of this.
When that fight came out, I still see people still warning each other in the comments and Twitter to this day, still complaining about, oh, Logan should have run. No, Superman will always be the victor. Blah 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 blah.
Where does that even come from? YouTube? Twitter? Reddit? Can't be Reddit, cause the Death Battle subreddit is filled with more than just versus debating, but rather discussions on Death Battle or just games people like to do. Hell, the Power Scaling subreddit does the same shit. Twitter? Nope, that subject died as soon as the 3rd installment was posted. YouTube? Well, that's the likely option out of the 3 of them, because I've actually seen people act this way over other matchups. But even then, I've seen nothing on the videos that discuss this topic. And I don't feel like going through comments either when there's potentially millions of them. Made even more apparent when he never gave a link to where these even come from, leaving me to believe he's pulling it out of his ass. The reason why I'm harping on him so much on this, because it's a rant, and this is his entire rant. It's built on nothing. Nothing. There's no solid foundation on this rant. And I don't care what the purpose of a rant is, it shouldn't be nothing but word salad. And will make it worse if this is the foundation your rant is built on. Oh, but he's talking about people who don't know how to power scale Superman. Do you realize how little that narrows it down? I don't want to say it, but I don't think these people Rumble say even exist.
And my head I'd be scratching while my thoughts were busy hatching if I only had a brain.
Sorry to say this, but I have to say it. This entire video, this entire rant, was done on a straw man, which, believe it or not, is basically my entire issue with this rant. Sure, the Disney rant he did was basically him ignoring who's behind the company and the drama often accompanying it. This rant, however, falls apart when it sounds like a rant on people who potentially don't exist. Okay, but I'm not going to dismiss the possibility that they just outright don't exist. So let's say they do. That's where I need to talk about the community itself. The Versus community is a group of passionate nerds and weebs having fun discussing who would win in a fight. The truth is, everyone in existence is inherently biased. The Versus debating community is no different. It's not just Superman, by the way. Any character has people who adore them. They may have a personal attachment with their stories. Maybe they grew up with these characters and nostalgia is kicking in. Or as simple as wanting to fuck them. The Versus community isn't a bunch of bots or autistic people screeching over their opinions being challenged, or grown men who challenges people to a boxing match because people dare criticize their arguments. Who are we? Who, a bull? Point is, it can be troubling when people's bias ruin a Versus debate. I get that. But at the end of the day, that's exactly what makes us who we are. That's what makes us humans. The Versus community, we're nerds, we're weebs, we're human. Hell, one of the most well-known Versus debaters is Nemesis Bloodreich, who's known for taking everything with a critical eye, especially to death battle content, and still puts Godzilla vs. Gamera as his favorite death battle of all time, because he grew up watching kaiju as a child. That, and it was one of his most wanted matchups to ever appear. Until Destroyer vs. Iris took that spot. This man may be an Aussie, an Asian, and a German molded into one man, but there's still a human under that pumpkin, you can tell, because he likes redheads. To bring it all full circle, these fans are annoying, but uncommon, especially in the Versus community. But then again, no community is safe from bad apples or trolls, because, well, at the end of the day, aren't we all human? And if there's anything humans is good at, it's being social creatures. These communities are just one of the many aspects of ourselves that has brought upon us by our ancestors. A skill once used to make us whole has now divulged into this. God, I didn't think I would have to say these things, but here we are, I guess.
Let's cut to the chase.
I can drone on for as long as I can about the Versus community, but it's time to wrap this up. Rumble, for a video that's supposed to be a rant, it really does fall flat. At least Bloodreich's rants on Marvel vs. DC show Death Battle's overuse of Marvel and DC characters in Season 7. I don't want to believe this was on purpose, Rumble. I don't want to assume the worst of your intentions. Unfortunately, I cannot make an exception of you. Regardless of your intentions, you still made a weak rant video. But hey, if this video was informative, that's all I'm aiming for. This is all I wanted to say. Have a great Thanksgiving, Rumble. It depends on when I get this video up. And to everyone watching, I hope you liked it regardless. Take care, everyone. And most of all, take care, Rumble.
¿Qué tengo que hacer para que tú seas mi mujer? Baby,